graduate students from the batch of academic year 2021-22. This program is very systematically designed with the blessings of our President of HSNC Board, Mr. Kishu Mansukhani, Provost of HSNC University, Mumbai, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, and all our HSNC family members. With the guidance of our motivating mentors, Dr. Hemlata Bagla, Principal of KC College, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, Principal of HR College, and Dr. Bhagwan Balani, Principal of VTT College, with the strong support of our Vice Principals of all the colleges, and with the dedication of Team KC and Team HR. So now I would like to call upon Dr. Hemlata Bagla, Principal of KC College, Director of Niranjan Hiranandani School of Real Estates, Honorary Director of KC College of Management Studies, and the Senior Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pratiksha. We have with us today Mr. Anil Harish, our distinguished trustee of HSNC board and senior mentor. In a few minutes from now, we will have Madam Maya Shahani joining us. We have amidst us in this digital room, Dean, Commerce and Management and in charge Principal of HR College, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani. We have Dean Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Bhagwan Balani, who is also in charge Principal of Bombay Teachers Training College. Vice Principals of both the great institutions of Mumbai, HR as well as KC College, the great leaders of these two institutions who are present here. Very happy to see the Team KC and Team HR have amalgamated together and they are there on this platform. And all the students of HSNC University who have taken admission in HR College, in KC College, as the second batch of HSNC University. Dear students, I know that your parents are also watching us today. So if they are not around, do let them know about this event and they will have a wonderful session today as well. So take a minute till I complete my address. You heard me yesterday. You can just go and please see that your siblings, your brothers, sisters, your friends and your parents are watching this induction program. Friends, as the students of HSNC University and KC College and HR College, I want you all to start preparation for your great leap. In fact, this induction program is designed for that purpose. And it is a very important event for both the institutions and the university. An important part of your preparations for this great flight of your success. I mentioned to you yesterday, there will be complete metamorphosis. You can click your picture today, make your CV today, and at the end of the 3 years, I would want you to click your picture again and keep your CV in front of you and compare. It will be a different you altogether. And this entire transformation, we alone cannot do it. We can only provide you platforms. We can only provide you opportunities. They will be lying there in front of you as a plate full of fruits. It's you who have to pick up the fruits. You can have the full plate too, whether it is co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, as Dr. Pooja Ramchandani mentioned beautifully yesterday, that entire metamorphosis will happen in these two institutions and of course BTTC if you do B.Ed or education or MA education. So we welcome you with open arms to this beautiful institution, HSNC University at HR College and KC College. And you have to use these platforms. Let me tell you, you have to use this as a launch pad. And like runways of the aircrafts, they are also designed with utmost care and precision to give you the perfect takeoffs to the flights. So these institutions are actually those runways and launch pads for you. Because takeoff is very, very important part of the flight. You may not know the science and technology which goes behind it, but to have that ride and land safely, you should know what it takes to take off and what it takes to even reach a destination. That is exactly why we are trying to make your initiation perfect. There's a reason we have organized this induction program for you. I hope you all sincerely attend. If you miss out the YouTube, you please go at your convenient time, and you must visit the YouTubes and follow these induction lectures. Dear students, today is the second day of the induction program, and on this occasion, we have with us Mr. Anil Harish, the distinguished trustee and immediate past president of the board. For us, he's the mentor. For me personally, I would say his energy around him is so creative that ideas of great originality, I don't know how they bubble, and we have taken those ideas in these two institutions and have tried to implement as much we can, and we have merged and made it a part of the institution's objective, goal, and mission. I'm pleased that today Mr. Anil Harish sir is there with us, and of course, in some time from now, Mrs. Maya Shahani will also join. And please inform me when she joins, because in the gallery view, I may not come to know that she has joined. So please do that and do let me know. Let me tell you.
I've already joined.
Oh,
good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
A warm welcome to you, Anil Harish sir and Maya ma'am. Both our distinguished trustees are there with us today. And what else can make this induction program better than their presence, beautiful presence. Maya ma'am, a warm welcome to you. I was waiting for your arrival, a digital arrival. So friends, we have with us Honorable Anil Harish sir, and of course, our teachers will introduce him to you. But let me tell you, he's a great legal practitioner and an esteemed member of HSNC board and university. And he has been ranked by the prestigious Legal Directory of Chambers and Partners as one of the leading tax lawyers of India. Anil sir has played a very important role, instrumental role in reconciliation of our institutional structure, the mindset, the mission, and the vision. His words of wisdom always permeate deep down in our minds. As I mentioned to you, even few words I noted down, I remember forever. And I see that it keeps getting stitched together in the institution's vision. Sir is very jovial and has unique quality to connect instantly with students. He has been there to help and inspire all of our students throughout their academic endeavors. Thank you very much, Anil sir, for joining us this morning. I know you're so busy, but taking out schedule this time for our second batch of HSNC University on the first day, I believe it's really mean to all of us. So on behalf of HSNC University, on behalf of KC College, on behalf of HR College, I extend, and BTTC, I extend a warm welcome to you for the second day of our induction program. We also have with us, we are blessed to have with us the women trustee, I would say the women empowered board, Mrs. Maya Shahani. She's there with us. And I would say she's one person who has been source of our university's strength, charm and grace with which by watching her, as if you read many books. One of ma'am's exceptional quality I would like to, of course, you will get a chance to meet very soon when we organize these programs auditorium. As much we are waiting to meet you, and you will also get a chance to meet these stalwarts. She's a charismatic speaker, having the power to captivate her audience, along with being a key trustee member of the board. Maya ma'am is a dynamic person who has been leading many, many institutions with zeal and fervor. So I extend a warm welcome to Maya ma'am and Anil sir. Thank you for your beautiful and gracious presence today morning. My dear students, lastly, I will not take much time because I want you to hear them. Do remember that throughout all the efforts, the university is trying to extract the best from you. It's you who is important to us, and it's very important that you take the responsibility of the best resources that we have got in the university. Remember, we will provide you with the best runways, but you have to prepare yourself to take the great flight of success. My best wishes and support will always be there to all of you. And with this, I would say all the best to each one of you. Thank you so much for joining here, all dear students, with your friends and family. This is a most valuable time. Invest your time and be part of this induction program and all the programs which we organize. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Anil sir and Maya ma'am, for being with us this morning. Thank you all, both my dear deans, Dr. Pujaram Chanani and Balani sir, for always being the rock support, vice principals of KC College and HR College, the entire team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your warm greetings and encouraging address. Now I would like to request Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, in charge principal of HR College and Dean of Faculty of Commerce and Management, HSNC University, Mumbai, to deliver her welcome address.
Thank you, dear. Respected Anil Harish ji, Trustee of HSNC Board, respected Maya ma'am, respected Vice Chancellor Dr. Hemlata Bagla, my colleague, Senior Dean and Principal KC College, respected Dr. Balani. I think today is the second day of history that we are meeting today after 1 year of HSNC University. Students that I addressed you yesterday as my brand ambassadors, HSNC University brand ambassadors. You are entering into a family where the HSNC board has a tradition of 70 years of efforts in education. HR and KC College, more than 60 years of their tremendous efforts in the field of education. You are entering into a field, and when we said you are welcome to the family of HSNC University, the percentages that you have got have kept our standards very, very high. The achievements that you have got, the academic standards that you have brought into HR and KC and BTTC have kept us cutoffs high despite 4th or 5th merit lists that have come out. At HSNC University and at HRKC and BTTC College, we are committed to the excellence in education and your holistic development, where we give you an opportunity of curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular programs and activities in such a way that it helps you to develop and explore a leader in you. You are now a brand ambassador of HR College, and we say your parents are our brand partners. And together, we have to take these institutions further higher. We are committed to values that will be instilled in students, corporate values, social values, and more important is life values. So we will ensure that we will provide you those programs and activities and certificate courses that instill these values in you. One of an important highlight that you will be spoken in your classes also is this unique feature of HSNC University, which no other university has thought about, but HSNC thought is self-learning evaluation, where each student gets an opportunity to prepare a topic that has been assigned to you by your teachers in each subject and come forward and present to your teacher. In a way, in the process, develop your skills of presentation, your research, and your speaking skills, and overall helping you in developing your personality. Self-learning evaluation is one of our proud achievements that we have in our HSNC University. Another important thing that you will be told in your classes is our honors program. Another unique feature of HSNC University is BA, BCom, BSc, and other self-finance professional courses have to study 2 additional subjects, get credits, and earn an honors degree along with their regular aided or professional degrees that they have enrolled into. This opportunity is only available to the already enrolled students of first years in HRKC College and BTTC College. The philosophy: regularly read, come and live HSNC life and be a proud alumni of HSNC University and HR College and KC College. These 3 years of beautiful journey that you're going to be with us are going to take beautiful memories, and students and our brand ambassadors, you have a responsibility. The activities, the programs are to be done along with professors, by the students, for the students, and of the students. So now you enter into a mini corporate college life where you will act as CEOs of your classes, of your programs, of your clubs that you will take up and become a CEO or a manager, a distinguished manager once you are out of 3 years of undergraduate program for our colleges. So with these few words, I welcome once again to all my brand ambassadors and brand partners, and wishing you a beautiful journey of next 3 years with HSNC University. Hearty welcome to all of the parents and the students.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring address and very nicely explaining the unique features of HSNC University programs. Friends, we have amongst us two big personalities today, Mr. Anil Harish and Ms. Maya Shahani. They will enlighten us with their vast knowledge and experience. I'm honored to introduce Mr. Anil Harish, Trustee and immediate past President of HSNC Board. Mr. Anil Harish is having BA Honors LLB and LLM University of Miami from University of Miami degrees, is an advocate by profession and a partner of the law firm DM Harish and Company. Sir's practice includes many diverse areas of the law, that is property, exchange control, foreign investments, trust, wills, and Indian and international taxation. He has been the office bearer of some prominent law institutes. And as a specialist in the field of real estate, he is on the advisory board of the magazine Property Scape and of the Accommodation Times Institute of Real Estate Management. He has been ranked by the prestigious Legal Directory of Chambers and Partners as a leading tax lawyer. Mr. Anil Harish has authored several articles which have been published in Times of India, Hindustan Times, and several professional journals. Sir is the director of several prestigious public limited companies, including Hinduja Global Solutions Limited, Hinduja Ventures Limited, Future Enterprises Limited, Oberoi Realty Limited, and Blue Star Limited. Besides being the trustee of HSNC Board, Mr. Anil Harish is the trustee of several other educational and charitable trusts. That is DM Harish Foundation, the Induction Foundation, Rajni Patel Memorial Foundation, and many more. Last but not the least, he is the most sought after speaker in India and abroad. And Sir has delivered speeches at prestigious events at Brussels, London, Dubai, Muscat, and Jakarta. Besides being a regular speaker on the annual budget, now I request Sir to deliver his special address. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you. Mrs. Maya Shahani, Vice Chancellor Dr. Hemlata Bagla, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, Dr. Bhagwan Balani, professors, friends, and fellow students, because one must remain a student all one's life. Today is a very special day. Dr. Hemlata Bagla takes over as Vice Chancellor of the HSNC University from today. She is an intellectual and highly accomplished scientist and a very dynamic lady of action. She takes up everything very quickly and acts on it, and that has given us such wonderful results over the years. We really look forward to leading HSNC University to greater heights. Congratulations, Hema.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. I'll try my level best to reach wherever you have thought about this university.
And for all of us, this is an occasion for jubilation. When you are embarking on a degree course education and also postgraduate degree course in some of the best colleges in Mumbai, the HR College, the KC College, and the Bombay Teachers Training College. All of you have worked so hard to do well and to be here. You have had mind-boggling results. We see the percentages which can come only with many nights of sleeplessness, of staying awake and dedication throughout the years. And we are very happy that you're here, and the HSNC University, HR College, KC College, and the BTTC, and the principals and the outstanding staff of our colleges are very pleased and proud to have you here. So I welcome you all. This is a time of transition for all of you, of moving from schools and junior colleges to degree colleges, or from degree colleges to a postgraduate, but with greater choices, but a more definite direction. To help you to get a glimpse of some of the possibilities for the future, HR, KC, and BTTC have organized these induction talks. Yesterday, you heard Mr. Kishu Mansukhani and Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, trustees of the HSNC board. And later today, you will also be hearing Mrs. Maya Shahani, trustee of the board. And then over the next few days, you will hear others who have distinguished themselves in their professions and vocations. You are now part of the HSNC board and HSNC University. So let me tell you something about the board and how it began and what it has always hoped to achieve. In 1949, soon after the partition of India, Mr. Kunnani came from Sindh. He had been a principal of a college there, and then he wanted to set up an institution here as well. It was very difficult in Mumbai. He didn't have much money. Acquiring land was so difficult, getting permissions, and having a group of persons was next to impossible. But he did it. He pledged his wife's jewelry and got land at Bandra, which is where the National College and MMK College, G.J. Advani Law College, and Thadumal Shahani Engineering College are based. That was swampy land. It was so far away from this part of town, from South Bombay. But he did it, and he supervised the entire construction himself. And soon he joined hands with Barrister Hochand Advani, who was a leading lawyer, but who was very socially minded. So they began these colleges, and they had many other persons joining them. The board of governors of the HSNC board has had very distinguished persons. Mr. Justice Chainani, who later became Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, was one of the members of the board. Dr. L.H. Hiranandani, who was, till he passed away, trustee of our board as well, was there, and they all contributed so much. There were also contributions and support from many other persons, from Mr. Hasaram Rijumal, after whom the HR college is named, the Kishanchand Chelaram family. Then the CHM college was set up by the Mansukhani family, Thadumal Shahani Engineering College by the family of Mrs. Maya Shahani. There's Dr. L.H. Hiranandani College, Niranjan Hiranandani College of Real Estate, Nari Gursani Law College, and so many more. The board now has 25 colleges and schools and is amongst the largest boards in the University of Mumbai. Although the board was a Sindhi minority, established itself as a Sindhi minority in order to have more freedom and flexibility, it has always been open to all and welcomes everyone. I want to tell you something more about Principal Kunnani and Mr. Hochand Advani. Principal Kunnani was very dynamic, and he continued as principal for a long, long time, well past the retirement age for most persons. He was very sports-minded as well. He used to play badminton regularly and personally set up all these colleges. And Mr. Hochand Advani, the barrister who was the chairman of the board for many years until he died, was so involved in charities that I remember when I was in my 20s, a client had come to me and said he wanted to set up a charitable trust, and he wanted me to be a trustee. And he had heard so much about Mr. Advani that he said he wanted Mr. Advani to be a trustee as well. So he requested me to go along with him to meet Mr. Hochand Advani. I went, and even though he was probably in his 80s at that time and I was in my 20s, we got along very well. And we used to talk about doing different things. And Mr. Advani told me at that time that he was not only president of the HSNC board, he was a trustee of more than 100 charitable trusts. You can imagine how much time he spent on charitable activities and how dedicated he was. Well, over a period of time, the board expanded. We now have arts, science, and commerce colleges with all their subsets, law colleges, and education college, that is BTTC, pharmacy, engineering, and management colleges, and plans to maintain, to have many more, and always to maintain a high quality, but also to have, to reach out to a large number of people. It's not just a quality for a very few people that we want. We want to be able to give quality, but to a very large number of persons, which is what we have been doing. As I said, our board now is about 45,000 students and is amongst the largest in Mumbai University. Now, a few years ago, something else happened, and that was the HSNC Cluster University. The government announced this concept of a cluster university, whereby a group of 3 colleges, all of which had done very well in the NAC, the National Assessment and Accreditation Council process, would be eligible to get together and form a university. So HR College, KC College, and BTTC all had done very well and had got more than the cutoff percentage, that was cutoff marks that were required for a cluster university. At that time, Principal Dinesh Panjwani, who was then principal of the National College and secretary of the HSNC board, and then became the first vice chancellor of HSNC University, must do it. He put in a lot of effort and got everything going. He met government officials, he formulated the statutes, and there was so much support, coordination, and help from everyone, contribution in every way, from Dr. Bagla, from Pooja Ramchandani, from Dr. Balani, Mr. Kishu Mansukhani, and so many others, and all the trustees, and the governor of Maharashtra, the government officials, the ministers, everyone was very supportive. And we are very happy that we were able to set up this university just a couple of years ago. We were also very happy to be a part of the University of Mumbai, which has 850,000 students. But we wanted academic freedom and flexibility. This is something that many universities have wanted. In fact, this issue of flexibility is age-old. It is said that more than 2,000 years ago, Takshashila University in ancient India specialized in medicine. Ujjain University specialized in astronomy, and Nalanda had all subjects. So perhaps we are aiming to be like the Nalanda of the old times. Like in the US and elsewhere, we want to try and move to a system whereby we have a major subject, a person can graduate with a major, and with minors, which can be quite unrelated to each other. That a person can do science and yet also do literature, or do acting or drama, and any such combination. Of course, if one has a major, there will be the bulk of the courses will be in that stream, and the minor can be something quite different, but in which a person has an interest. And that is actually the right way to go, because there is so many opportunities in this world today, and people have changed from one profession to another, which was not easily done in the past. Some shining examples and instances in real life are, for instance, Dr. Maker, who was a medical doctor and then who began a construction company and has constructed so many beautiful buildings at Nariman Point, the Maker Chambers and Maker Towers at Cuff Parade, and also the Maker Mac City complex at Bandra Kurla East. Then there was Captain Nair, who was a captain in the Indian Army, went into the textile business, and at the age of 64, he set up the hotel Leela Group, which has a beautiful hotel near the airport in Mumbai and in different parts of the country. And of course, our very own Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, who did his CA, began to do business instead of practicing as a CA, then went on to become one of the leading real estate developers in India, and has such an interest in so many different things. In, of course, our HSNC board, which he has led so effectively, and with ASSOCHAM, of which he was the president, with CREDAI, and so many more. And he did his PhD at the age of about 67. So that is also something fantastic, what he has been able to do, and to go from field to field. This is what we want everyone to be ready to do. Whether you do it or not, whether you concentrate on one stream, as for instance I have, or you do multiple different things as other people have done, you have to be ready for it all, and you have to see the opportunities as they come. Academics, of course, is very important. And in order to become future ready, as we at the university want to be, we want you to be future ready as well. you have to concentrate on academics. That's what has got you here with your wonderful marks. And while there may be a rare Bill Gates who dropped out of Harvard University and didn't complete his degree and founded Microsoft, I'm sure it is not your plan, at least at present, to drop out. But if you do decide, we will wish you all the best and hope you are very successful. And come back to us and tell us about what you did. In today's times, just technical skills will not be sufficient to build successful careers. Critical thinking, problem solving, and entrepreneurship are equally important. But as important or more important than all of these is going to be action. Peter Marshall said, small deeds done are better than great deeds planned. And Zig Ziglar, an author, said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. So whatever you're doing, please begin it right away. This is the time to do things, to experiment and to experience, join clubs, join associations, participate in activities alongside with your academics, but of course, nothing illegal and nothing which hurts you or which hurts anyone else. Do not straitjacket yourself or restrict yourself in any way. For instance, when interns join our law firm, I tell them that you must experience everything. Go to everyone in the office, just keep talking to them, listen to them. Someone may be doing litigation, someone may be doing documentation, another one may be doing research. And when you go from here, while you are students, this is the time to learn. So you go and join a firm which does criminal law, intellectual property, do everything you can right now. Because once you actually get into practice, there may not be that much room to experiment or to try different things that are new. So you have to keep learning now and keep your minds open for all this. You must, at this time, impose demands on yourself and others. Bernard Shaw said, all progress happens because of the unreasonable person, a person who doesn't accept what is given to him. If you just accept something and go along in the routine, you may never achieve anything great. So you have to be unreasonable with yourself, and you have to be sometimes unreasonable with those around you. Want something more from them, demand something more, and see that you get it. But you have to do it in a positive way. Don't just be critical. Try and be part of the action that you want to see. You know, it is said about that there is a phrase you must have heard of, be the future that you want to see. So I looked that up and saw what was the origin of this. And this is what I read, that Mahatma Gandhi used to, of course, attend so many gatherings, he used to speak everywhere. One day he went for a meeting, and then after he finished, a lady came up to him with a little son, and she said to Mahatma Gandhi, she said, Gandhiji, you know, my son is very heavy, he eats sugar and he just eats sweet things all the time, and he just doesn't exercise, and please tell him that he must control his sugar and his eating. So Gandhiji heard her and looked at the little boy, and then he said, I'm coming back here in a month, and you come and meet me at that time. So the lady was very disappointed. She had sat waiting for 2-3 hours to be able to talk to Gandhiji, but she had not thought that he would just push her off in this manner. Anyway, she went away, and she came back a month later, and with her son, and she went up again to Gandhiji. And Gandhiji then told the little boy, he said, you should stop eating sugar and you must exercise more, you must do more and look after your health. So this is all that the lady had wanted to hear coming from Gandhiji's lips. And of course, the little boy then listened to it because he took it very seriously. But she asked Gandhiji, why did you not say it last time? This is a simple thing. You could have said it last time, but you said it now after making me wait for a month. He said, because I used to eat sugar at that time, and in order to be able to tell a child to stop eating sugar, I had to stop it myself. So you have to do things yourself. You may encourage others to do it, you may support them, but you have to begin all these actions yourself. But don't be too unreasonable on yourself or on others. You have to you have to do everything, but with the proper balance. You must, something that a very important college and always, especially in these days of communication, are reading and writing and speaking. We tend in the course of our studies and in our work not to concentrate on writing or on reading. We are too busy. We just maybe read the newspapers or see snippets of information on our phones. But please do read. Many years ago, when I was in college, I remember going for a lecture by Lord Denning, who was a judge from England. And he spoke beautifully. And he said at that time that every day you must spend at least half an hour or 1 hour reading, whatever it may be. It may be the classics, it may be literature, it may be fiction, it may be something other than your profession or business. You have to keep reading, you have to keep thinking, you have to expose yourself to different ideas. And that's something please keep doing. Also, you must write. There is so much happening around the world that these are the occasions when you must write. I remember in 1977, I missed that opportunity. I should have done it, but that's why I'm telling you about it now. 1977, after the emergency, when the emergency was being lifted, then the new government, the Janata Party government, was being formed. And Mr. Ram Jethmalani was a good friend of ours, and he had become a member of parliament. So he was going to Delhi. My father also had a matter in Delhi at that time. So we went along at the same time. And Mr. Jethmalani stayed at our house. He stayed in our house for several months, about 5 months or so, until he got his MP's residence. But when we were there for those few days, I went along with him everywhere. We went to meet Mr. Morarji Desai, who became then the Prime Minister of India. We went to his house. We went to meet Mr. Jagjeevan Ram, who became the Defense Minister of India. I went to court along with Mr. Jethmalani when George Fernandez was being released, and Mr. Ram Jethmalani argued for him over there. And those were such wonderful experiences. I wish I had written about that now and captured all that. That would have been something that one could just relate to people, as I'm telling you now about it so many years after it happened. So do take these opportunities when you see something special, something that has an impact on you, something that should have an impact on you and on others. Please share it, because the written word has a much greater longevity than even the written word. So please do that. Communicate, reading, by speaking and by writing, and of course imbibe with reading. You must also participate in social activities and charity. Your colleges have so many of these opportunities available to you, much more than ever before. The colleges are really a place where everything is buzzing. You have not had the opportunity now because of the lockdown of spending time with each other. But soon that is going to happen. In fact, this morning's papers say that students from the 8th to the 12th will be junior colleges and senior classes schools will be starting from the 4th of October. I don't know whether that's actually going to happen, but when you do start interacting, I'm sure you will take advantage of all these and the charitable activities. At all times, you must maintain a balance. While it is very good to be unreasonable, while it is very good to be a specialist, but have a balance between studies and work, family and friends, and you must remember that you must give time for your health. Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, I think, talked about that to you yesterday. And I will tell you also that when we neglect our health because we are too busy or just doing different things or just don't bother, then it can have a big impact on you. There is an Egyptian proverb that I always remember. It is that health is like the digit 1, and other things are like the digit 0. So if you have health and education, you have 1 and 0, that's a 10. If you have health and education and success, that's 1 and 0, that's 100. If you have health and education and success and friends, that's like 1,000. So you can keep on multiplying these and you can have millions because you have your health and you have everything else along with it. But if you don't have the health, you don't have the 1, and everything else is just a big 0. So you have to remember this and do look after your health at all times. Dr. Pooja Ramchandani said something very interesting. She said that you should be the CEOs, and that's the opportunity that the college and all the clubs and the associations are going to give to you. When many, many years ago, when I became chairman of the committee for the first time, again in my 20s, I went home one day, I was very happy, and my nephew was there, my sister's son. He was about 5 years old at that time. So I said to him, I said, you know, I'm chairman of this committee, your Nana is chairman of that, your mother is chairman of that. What are you chairman of? I shouldn't have said it like that, but I did say it. And he gave a most beautiful response. He said, he thought, and he said, I'm chairman of my life. And I thought that was so wonderful. And that's what you all have to be. You have to look after yourself. You have to do very well in academics and in social activities and success and work and family and everything. But you have to be chairman of your own life. You have to decide what you want to do. You have to achieve it. You have to take support from everyone else. But the responsibility is with you. As Dr. Bagla said, the college is going to provide you so many opportunities, a runway to take off. That will be the platform that you have. But you have to take those opportunities, and you have to be the chairman of your own life. On 2nd February 1835, Lord Thomas Macaulay spoke in the British Parliament. He was very critical of India and of Eastern education. And he said that the thought and literature in all these other languages is nothing compared to what is there in Europe and in England. And he said that, that there should be education in English to make people more employable. Now, whatever his motivation may have been, English has become our language in many parts of India, and it has become the world language. Universities were set up soon after he said this, but we must take advantage of the fact that we speak English, that we've been educated in English, and that this is the language of the world. So do profit from this, but we must not neglect our own roots and the fact that that India is truly multilingual, perhaps more than any other country in the whole world. In Switzerland, they speak French and German and English. In America, they speak English and Spanish in many parts. In Canada, they speak English and French, but we have so many languages. We must not lose out on the fact or neglect the fact that we have so many different languages, so many cultures. We have to be open to everything. We take advantage of what there is before us, but we have to learn from everyone else and also see that it is all done very well. I would just like to end by saying that whatever you do in your years in college and in your years after that, do everything that you can with passion and with compassion. You have to put all your energy into it, and you also have to be mindful of others. So I wish all of you, dear students, teachers, principals, in the colleges and the HSNC University, and all your families and friends, the best of opportunities and the best of times, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your ever encouraging and motivating address by discussing interesting success stories and also making our students and their parents aware of the glorious history of and the prominent features of our HSNC board and HSNC University. So we have amongst us the most charming and charismatic person, Miss Maya Shahani, trustee of HSNC board, and it's my proud privilege to introduce Miss Maya Shahani. She is the chairperson of Shahani Group, which focuses on promoting quality education through its institutes. Maya Shahani is a trustee of Tadamul Shahani's Trust. Madam is also the chairperson of SAGE Foundation, which educates and empowers the under-resourced and works with the Clinton Global Initiative. Ms. Maya Shahani is the chairperson of the Global Dialogue Foundation, which works with the United Nations to bring the culture of peace through dialogue. A patron of the Cancer Patients Aid Association, she has opened a center for the early detection of cancer in the memory of her mother-in-law. Ma'am is the patron trustee of the Women's Movement for Peace and Prosperity, which gives voice to voiceless women. Ms. Maya Shahani is the recipient of several awards such as the Glory of India Gold Medalist Award, Global Peace Award, the Chavel of India Award, the Jamnalal Bajaj Award, the Women Achievers Award, Bharat Jyoti Puraskar, the Entrepreneur Business School Award, the Clinton Global Initiative Certificate, Global Economic Summit Award, the Mahatma Gandhi Samman at British Parliament House of Commons, and the International Achievers Award at the International Summit at Tashkent. We are very fortunate to have such a dynamic personality to guide us today. I request Maya ma'am to kindly deliver her address.
Thank you. Mr. Anil Harish, Trustee and immediate past President of HSNC Board, Dr. Hemlata Bagla, our Vice Chancellor, HSNC University, and Principal of KC College, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, Principal of HR College, and Dr. Bhagwan Balani, Principal of Bombay Teachers Training College. As a trustee of the HSNC Board, it is my honor and privilege to accord a warm welcome to our new batch of students and their parents and friends. My dear students, this is your day, and everything I speak today is all about you. You have come here with an intent to achieve something in your life. I'm very sure that you're all filled with excitement, and it is our job to try and build on these sparks of your life. The spark needs to be kept shining so that all of you feel happy while spending time in our campuses. The past year has been very difficult for all of us. The pandemic has affected almost every sphere of our lives. But what differentiates exceptional people from good ones is their ability to shine during times of crisis. Mr. Anil Harish spoke about the past of our board. Dr. Bagla and Dr. Pooja Ramchandani spoke about what our colleges are all about. I'm going to speak about the future, which is you students, and the future stems from you. So let us first see how to nurture the spark and guard against the storms. You'll face many storms in life: frustration, disappointment, loneliness, and unfairness. There are examples of some students who have ended their lives due to the above reasons. So I don't want to start on a depressing note, but I would like to create a sense of optimism in you now that you have come to our campus. Life is full of challenges, but we must face them cheerfully. The 4 storms mentioned by me cannot be avoided. They will keep coming into our lives regularly, but we must learn how not to let the spark die. While studying in our campuses, I would request you not to get bogged down by books only, but to ensure a balanced life. Like Dr. Pooja Ramchandani and Dr. Bagla said, we have so many extracurriculars happening, and Anil Harish wanted you to be the CEO of your life. So otherwise, the spark of life will start fading. Some months ago, I came across an article in the Speaking Tree of the Times of India. It was written by Rajiv Vid. You may not have heard of him, but it caught my eye because he has personally coached me and has been one of my favorite mentors. He wanted to coach the head of an NGO and an educational entrepreneur. And since I'm the chairperson of Sage Foundation and the Shahani group, I fitted the bill. He asked me how he could help and was rather surprised when I told him I just couldn't get sleep and was dying to sleep like a baby. He must have expected something more businesslike and profound from me, but my lack of sleep was driving me nuts. So without batting an eye, he said, okay, if that's what you want, let's see how we can help you to sleep like a baby. Of course, he didn't sing lullabies to me, but at the end of the coaching, he made me realize on my own that to sleep like a baby, you have to be like a baby. You know, a coach never tells you, a good coach, he never tells you what you should do. He never says you must do this and not that. He draws out the best from you, and it all comes from within you. We have it all within us. It just has to be drawn out. So then on my own, I realized that a baby has no ego, does not think of the past or worry about the future, has no deadlines or financial worries, does not envy or compete with anyone, bears no malice, and knows how to sing for his supper and get it. So, I realized that to sleep like a baby, you have to become like a baby. You have to let go of everything. All these things don't matter at all. Like Mr. Harish said, that if you don't have health, nothing else matters. So we have to focus on our inner strengths and forget about the rest of the world. And so, what Rajiv wrote in his Speaking Tree article, it attracted me because I said, now let me see what he's saying to the rest of the world. And what I would like to share with you is that what he wrote was that we must start investing in ourselves. According to him, the key to striving in challenging times is the mastery over your inner self. Be the change you want to see. Again, as Mr. Anil Harish said and Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. So such inner work is required at all 4 levels of our being: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And he coined the word REAP, R-E-A-P. So REAP, R-E-A-P, is an expression of that holistic work. This work has the power to positively affect all aspects of our life. The R in REAP stands for resilience. At the mental level, it's about building the right mindset. It's about overcoming our fears and doubts and building confidence, positivity, and resilience. Our mindset is a function of our deep-seated beliefs. These beliefs dictate how we think, feel, and act. Our parents, our teachers, our peers, they've been telling us, feeding so much information into our minds, which develop into beliefs. So, but then to create a resilient mindset, we need to closely examine our underlying beliefs. Are they right or are they wrong? For example, in the current crisis, if you strongly believe that your life will never be the same again, you are bound to feel anxious and demotivated. If you could only embrace some alternate beliefs, you will feel and act differently. The belief that learning from setbacks can help you become stronger, resilient, and more determined. So you have to believe that it's your setbacks that are going to help you to become stronger, resilient, and more determined. The E in REAP stands for equanimity. At the emotional level, it's about building an anchor of inner stillness and equanimity. So the volatility and uncertainty around us doesn't easily affect us. For this, we need to be more open to possibilities and not be attached to specific outcomes. Whether this crisis will last 6 months or 18, whether you will meet some of your loved ones soon or in a while, or whether you will move into the new house or the new campus you had planned for this year or not. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. To build all this, what you need is a structured and regular reflective practice, some quiet time in solitude to connect with. Meditation is very, very helpful. The A in REAP is for agility. At the physical dimension, it's about our prioritization and agility towards effectively managing time. Whatever you pay attention to will grow in your life. If you focus on exercise and nutrition, you will become healthier. If you focus on meditation, you will become calmer. This is important at all times in our life, but more so in times of crisis. During such times, we usually become reactive and distracted. Instead, we need to take charge and proactively focus on the most important priorities. We also need self-discipline in maintaining our personal balance and well-being so that we don't burn out from the crisis. And finally, P stands for purpose. At the spiritual level, it's about connecting with our deepest motivations and a higher purpose. Crisis can be a critical inflection point in our life. It invites us to reflect on what's most important to us in life, whether it's health, family, happiness, or simply to be wise, content, and kind. You can choose your own purpose in life. And I'm sure you're all born with a purpose which most of us do get aware of, but some of us get aware of it at a later stage when a crisis hits us and we know what our real purpose in life is. So seeing the sacrifices of health workers and the plight of migrant workers connects us to our compassionate self. We become more grateful for the life we have and empathetic to the pain of others. Aspects of us that always exist within us, but often get buried in the busyness of life. And wiser people harness these emotions and channelize them towards leading a more purposeful life. Reflect on what you really want your life to be about. Success or meaning, material progress or inner happiness, individual growth or inclusive of the community. So you decide for yourself what would truly make you happy. Whatever your pursuits, start investing in the self-worth and reap the benefits from it. So now I'd like to move on to another thought because I read something about Richard Branson. I got a message, I follow him. So I received a message from him. So somebody asked Richard Branson recently, in your career, how do you know when to slow down and when to put the pedal to the metal? So Richard Branson, as you all know, is the founder of the Virgin Group. And his reply was, in a hyper-connected world where everything moves at lightning speed, it often feels impossible to slow down. So how do you put timing to key moments in your career? Timing is the crux, it's the essence, it's very important, but we don't realize often. Timing is everything in life and is particularly crucial in entrepreneurship. People often equate success with luck, but it usually comes down to impeccable and carefully mapped out timing, staying ahead of the curve, predicting market conditions, spotting opportunities before they arise, and forecasting the wider economic, social, and technological landscape will really help you minimize risks when starting a business. Above all, remember that the best time to go into a new business is when it's being run badly by others. You know, my son, Akhil Shahani, who's the managing director of the Shahani Group and the Thadumal Shahani Center for Management, he was always ahead of his time. So quite often he failed in his earlier enterprises because nobody had heard of his ideas. He had come fresh from Kellogg as a graduate student. And he spoke something about knowledge management, which nobody had heard of before. So it didn't do well because people couldn't understand the concept. And there were 2-3 other things he attempted which were way ahead of the times. So now he's learned to move with the times and slow down a bit. But now of course, the world is moving very fast. So he had to move even faster than the others. So this is how we live and learn. It's also important to remember that good timing is less about speed and more about being in sync. It's easy to forget this in a go, go, go kind of world, but it's so important for your career or whatever it is you're working towards, whether a career or you plan to be a professional. And it's good for your wider well-being too. If you're starting to feel like you're just going through the motions and losing sight of why you started, it might be time to take a break, collect your thoughts, get some rest, and reassess your strategy. At this stage of your life, I'm sure you'll be entering relationships also. I read many of these columns, the agony aunt columns, where the boy doesn't know, should he tell the girl that he's in love with her? Is it too early? Is it going to be too late if he doesn't say anything? So timing is the opportune moment to do whatever you're aiming for. You don't make your best decisions when you're exhausted or overwhelmed, and you won't have the capacity to spot new opportunities and think creatively. I've always said that if you don't have time for the small things, you won't have time for the big things. There's something to be said for slowing down, taking stock, and also in knowing when it's time to leave altogether. We cling to our businesses thinking it'll work, but you've got to know that sometimes businesses don't work. So you leave it all together and start something new. So on the other hand, there are many exciting points in your career, particularly as an entrepreneur, when you need to put the pedal to the metal. Again, this comes down to really understanding what people want, what is set to trend in the industry, and what is going on in the wider economic landscape. When you have this perspective, You can use instinct to move quickly, take risks, and say yes. So timing can be everything when starting up. It can be the difference between building a thriving business and not. So often, ambitious and passionate founders come with incredible ideas which they truly believe in, but either customers aren't ready, as I said earlier, there isn't sufficient demand, or the market they want to operate in just hasn't matured yet. Imagine launching an internet business before most of your customers have access to decent broadband. Even now, our campuses, they can't reach out to the rural areas and to the poor students who don't have decent broadband. The idea, business model, and team behind it could be fantastic, but you could enter the market too early or too late. So when you're thinking of starting up, ask yourself, is the community I want to serve ready for this idea? It could make all the difference. All in all, timing is everything in business and in life. If you're feeling close to burnout, it's time to slow down. If you're feeling inspired, don't be afraid to pick up the pace. In all instances, try to be as observant, agile, and open-minded as possible. You'll be in a much better place to say yes when the right opportunity comes your way. So my dear students, you are in the right place at the right time. I once again welcome you all to the most beautiful years of your life. Keep that spark shining throughout. And I hope when you pass out from our campuses, I will see the same shine in your eyes. All the very best to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an energetic address and inspiring address. You have very nicely explained how to handle emotions, distractions, and obstacles on the path of future, and also explained them the importance of a pause in the life of in the journey of our life. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we are moving towards the end of day 2 of this induction program, and I would like to call Mr. Smarajit Padhi, who is the Vice Principal of KC College, Head of Commerce Department, and Co-Chairperson of Board of Studies in Commerce of HSNC University, to deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Pratiksha Madam. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. Thank you, Pratiksha Madam. First of all, good morning to our trustee and member of the HSNC board, Mr. Anil Harish. A warm welcome to and good morning to Ms. Maya Shahani, who is also a mentor and trustee for HSNC board. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Hemlata Bagla, also my principal, Dr. Hemlata Bagla, and I take this opportunity to congratulate her on the first day in the office. Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, Dr. Bhagwan Balani, my fellow vice principals, all the parents and students, teachers, everybody present in this meeting today. This induction program, first of all, yesterday we had our president, Mr. Kishuman Sukhani, and also the provost of the HSNC University, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani. And today also we have got two stalwarts of the board. And I think they learned immensely from all these discourses that is going on. And first of all, I will call upon, or I will talk about Mr. Anil Harish a little bit, because few people may be knowing about very young age he has entered this law profession, and the DM Harish and company advocates, it is one of the most well-known name in the law world. And there is also a concept called, they are designated as the global law experts. All over throughout the world, there are very few such kind of institutions are there, which are global law experts are there, and they provide so much of legal expertise. And particularly, he is well known for his legal skills and experience, and above all, his commitment to render quality professional service to a wide-ranging clientele. And this clientele, not only in the domestic, but also they come from abroad. That means the overseas clients are also there. And when we are talking about corporate bodies or maybe high net worth individuals are there, they are not only the clients of the Harish and company, and particularly talking about Mr. Anil Harish, but he has also committed to give such kind of advice in framing and establishing of companies. That is, individual entrepreneurs are there, new entrepreneurs are there, and more particularly when we are talking about technological age, the startups which are coming in, and with his vast kind of expertise in the tax and other things, he has always given his might to the society. And today I will also take this opportunity to thank Sir to be present over here, because I personally look forward to whenever he is saying anything, look forward to his speeches, because it is all so interspersed with anecdotes. And very simply, he puts forward so many things over here. And particularly today, when Sir is talking about like how a person has to be there, like has to diversify, particularly when we look at it also, that is his professional life also. Diversity is something which should always be there. That means we should not have only one arrow in our quiver, but we must have many arrows in our quiver, and we should be ready to do that one, to choose like what we should be using, what should be using at a particular time. And that is something we have learned today from Sir. And thank you very much, Sir, for sharing this with you. And one more thing that Sir has said to be unreasonable. And particularly, this is something which the students also should. That means not accepting what is the status quo is something which should not be accepted. I understand to maintain status quo also efforts are needed. But again, the status quo is not to be accepted, but we have to think of going ahead and changing this scenario. And lastly, Sir, thank you very much for saying that $1 million kind of anecdote today about being chairman of be chairman of our own life. So everyone has got their own life, and they should be prepared to take charge of it. And when we talk about take charge of it, I'm talking about being responsible for it. And that is the meaning that you have sent to the students. I assure you the students have taken it and in the right spirit. And thank you very much, Sir, to take so much of your time from your such busy schedule. Next, I can come to Ms. Maya Shahani, who is a mentor for HSNC board. And particularly, Madam, I like the people may not be, the students and parents, many of them may not be knowing what exactly are the different activities that you do. But again, I'm telling you, like you can think of a social cause, and you can think of anything in education, and you are there, whether it is in the domestic scenario, whether it's international scenario, as Pratiksha Madam has so well said about it. And one thing that is, for example, the example is there about like senior citizens home, the shelter that is in Mumbai, which is by Shahani Trust that has been established. That's which all we are talking about cancer patients AIDS association. Association that is established over there. We can also talk about the United Nations initiative on culture, where they are talking about like kind of say clearing this different kind of say dichotomy over there between cultures, which is creating the divisive forces, the polarization in the world. And it is in the world forum. It is not that we are talking only about a certain countries, but we are talking about the world over, and you being part of it and you being contributing towards that also speaks volumes about your contribution to the social causes and everything. And I loved most your kind of say lost your indication towards being a baby. Again, I tell you, all the students will be babies for their parents all throughout their life. Okay, but the thing is that the students don't think themselves a baby when they come to the college. They become adults, and that is why your enagrammatic reference to reap is there, which again is there when we are talking about agility, we're talking about resilience and everything. And I think students are going to love it, and students are going to imbibe that in their life. And thank you so much, Madam. And so thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, sharing your philosophies with the students. And I believe this again is going to lend to develop that kind of social outlook in our students. And I can talk about that to Mr. Anil Harish also, like when he was talking about his social involvements are there, being part of so many different charitable institutions and everything, and particularly you, madam, also about social. And this is something which the students will take away from this meeting today. And what I can only assure Dr. Bagla that the platform that is given to us, that is the efforts that has been put by the HSNC University and individually all the 3 colleges that have been put over there. So students will be ready to take the flight, and no wonder about this one. And I can assure Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, madam, thank you very much, madam, for being with us. Like the one thing takeaway is that brand value. So when you talk about brand value, you also refer to the life value. And believe me, they are going to increase that brand equity by the time they are leaving this college, and we create that brand equity for the students. And in turn, the brand equity of the institution also is going to increase. And I thank Dr. Bhagwan Balani also, Principal of Bombay Teachers Training College over here, to be present over here. Thank you very much, sir. I thank all the parents who have chosen to be part of this in the induction program. They are part of it, not in the sense like they want to oversee the students, but again, I'm telling you, it is always a great kind of matter of pride for a student. The time that you spend with a child, the time that you spend with a child, it may not mean much to you today or much to them today, but later on, maybe they realize that, yes, my parents were there when something was going on in my life. So they will have that kind of say freedom or the liberty, or they will get over their intimidations or apprehensions also approaching you if they're having any problem in their life. Otherwise, it so happens that because they think that they may not be heard properly, it may not be heard in a proper way, they may not come to you when the real problems are there, and which is going to lead to some very sad kind of say endings also. And I thank the parents once again very much for being part of this one, and please continue with this one till they are passing out. I'm not talking about the whole life and everything, that is a different matter altogether, but at least throughout the life of the student, life cycle, we say, life cycle of a student in the college itself, you should be aware of what is going on in the life of the student. And that is a great kind of a contribution you can make to get a better society. And I also thank all the students over here. Thank in the sense like presently they have been hearing over it. And I also exhort all of them to please not only listen to that, but imbibe those things. Please go at the spirit. For example, again, the anagrammatic reference of a baby. When madam said about be a baby, not to sleep like a baby, but be a baby in the sense like what the baby connotes, what infers. It infers that we should be out of our ego, always to learn. The baby is always learning, and that learning has to go, and it is to go lifelong. And HSNC University and KC College and HR College and Bombay Teachers Training College, we equipped ourselves to give you that kind of a platform to learn throughout your life. It is not only like for the 3 years or 5 years you'll be there with us, but also later on in the life also as an alumni also, you will also be learning from us and we'll also be learning from us. Thank you very much. And I thank all the teachers, my colleagues in all the colleges of HR College, BTTC College. Particularly, I'm thankful to all the volunteers, the technical support staff and everything who have made it possible that this meeting is going on online despite of COVID and everything. And it has been going on, all the work has been going on because of this contribution. Thank you so much everyone today for this. And thank you. Over to Pratiksha, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. So, ma'am, this is the end of our day 2 of induction program. And with your permission, we can end the meeting.
Thank you very much, Pratiksha, for conducting this session wonderfully well. And I was also overwhelmed to hear the vote of thanks, so precise and even covering up each one's like a summation of the thought process of each speaker. Thank you so much, Padi sir. And thank you all. We'll assemble here again on this platform tomorrow, 11 o'clock. All the best. Thank you, Anil sir. And thank you, Maya ma'am, for joining us this morning.
Ma'am, before we end the meeting, we all would like to congratulate you for being the Vice Chancellor of our HSNC University Mumbai. And I would request Monish to kindly share the screen for congratulatory flyer. Monish, can you please share the screen? The hearty congratulations to Honorable Vice Chancellor, HSNC University Mumbai, Professor Hemlata Bagla. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks, everyone.
So, ma'am, with your permission, shall we end the meeting?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Thank you,